The following podcast is recorded and produced by 𝗏𝗏𝗏, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏radio.com.
Week 1 of the NFL season is underway. As we record right now, the Ravens and the Chiefs are in a battle right now. It's 7-7. We ain't gonna talk about that game. We got about 14 other games we could talk about right now. 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 is back with us. Obviously, he held it down for us. Appreciate all his sacrifices. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. He ain't have to hold down the whole fort by itself, but you know,
that's what he do.
That's what he do. You know what I'm saying.
We still a podcast, so all three of us.
He a valedictorian. He a humanitarian. Like, you know what I'm saying. So he is who he is. He tried to downplay it, but you know what I'm saying. We appreciate him. But to start with you, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, you know what I'm saying. The most dangerous game in history I see. You know what I'm saying. They got a 6'3", 220-pound man scared to leave his room. A.J. Brown, as the Eagles technically are playing host to the Packers. That's tomorrow. That's at 8 o'clock. How you feeling about that one? Huge implications for this game, clearly.
I'm going to go... the way the Eagles been talking on social media, it's like they don't want to be there, like, at all.
They trying to get out of there.
They trying to get out of there.
I don't think I want to be there either.
So, I ain't going to lie, but I do have them... I know I'm going to go Packers winning that game. I think Packers going to win that game. Yeah, although the Eagles is the more talented team, I'm gonna give the edge to the Packers. I don't know, man. It's just like Saquon Barkley. Obviously, everybody's hyping up, everybody gassing it up, but you know, like Jason Kelce was a pioneer of that team. They're gonna figure it out by the end of the season, but I'm gonna give it to the Packers. I think they're gonna shock a lot of people this year.
For you, Damien, you lean the green team, or you lean the green team?
I'm leaning the green team. I'm going with the Eagles.
Team with green is gonna win it. Team with green is gonna win this game.
Technically, the Eagles ain't wearing green.
They not. They actually not. I remember I think they can't.
Yeah, this soccer stadium, neither team
or drop
Yeah, because it's like something like in Brazil, like one of the teams that play there, something like that, like they said, like it'd be like riots if they wore green. Like they cannot wear green in the stadium.
Wow.
So it's like a big thing.
I forgot about
like
that.
gang
I did remember seeing that. Yeah.
So like they gotta call the National Guard if they wore green or some shit. So I'm still going with the Eagles. I expect a big game from them. Jalen Hurts was my MVP pick. We talked about this. I put money on him, so I need him to play great. With all their new additions, new coordinators, thank God. I love Kellen Moore. Does Jalen Hurts have to improve as a passer to be great in the Kellen Moore offense? Yes, but he's not a horrible passer either. So I don't really know too much about Green Bay's defense outside of Jair Alexander. They have a rookie safety starting now.
They got
Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, they got McKinney. They signed him in the offseason. I still think the Eagles O-line's going to be fine. Jason Kelce, I get it. He was like the heart and soul of that team. I don't think they're going to struggle too much even without him. They still have Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, their left tackle, who came out of nowhere, and now he's an all-pro level tackle.
Yeah, he just literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they just spawned left tackles.
That offensive line is going to be just fine. Saquon Barkley, obviously, is a big addition. I think the Eagles are going to win it personally for me.
For me, this game, like I said, got huge implications. I think this is going to determine the first seed. Like, whoever wins this game is going to be in firm position of that first seed throughout the year. I'm going to lean the Eagles because I do think they are the better team. But for me, the Packers are going to – I feel like they're going to bring this fight to the Eagles to the point where, like, people realize that, all right, the Packers are literally here to be here. And they're like, it's not like, well –
it's not some fluke.
I remember, like, during the offseason that, like, they need to trade for a wide receiver. They need to trade for Brandon. You need to trade for CD Lamb. Like, somebody like – I think they're just so happy with their team, and they've never been a really aggressive offseason team at all. So I think like this is gonna be I think it's gonna be a huge year for the Packers in general. As we'll see throughout the year, I already looked at their schedule pretty much. I think they're gonna be a really good team, but I will lead the Eagles here. It sucks the conditions that they are playing in. Obviously, I would love to see this game in Philly or you know what I'm saying and in Lambeau, you know what I'm saying, like either or, yeah. But it sucks that it has to be like this. Hope all the players are safe at the end of the day. That's all that matters. But I am leaning.
Is that the
Eagles.
Peacock game? I think it's
yes.
the Peacock game.
Yeah, it is a Peacock game. Those cursed games, those Curse Peacock games, man.
Yeah, last one I watched made me cry.
But then we actually get to football Sunday. We'll start from the 1 o'clock games, go down to the Sunday night football game. We'll start it off. I don't know if they would listen to these, you know what I'm saying, worst to best, whatever the case may be. But I guess we can start on the S side. Pittsburgh visiting Atlanta. I'll start off by saying, I told you so. Russell Wilson's questionable with a calf injury. If I put the money on Russell Wilson under, I couldn't because they had no lines, but it was on Underdog. It was available for parlays on Underdog. It was available for 5 pick, 6 pick, whatever the case may be. I was low on Russell Wilson from the start. I've been low on him. This is something that's going to linger all year. With that being said, I am on the Falcons side. They are the favorites. But for me, I do think that Kirk Cousins is going to start the year really well. I think this is a time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to figure out if Justin Fields is that quarterback. He is visiting his hometown. He's from Georgia, I'm pretty sure. So it's like you really got that chance to maybe come in and, you know what I'm saying, do something. But I don't think that Steelers offense is good enough. I think that them missing out on Brandon Ayuk and spending time actually trying to get Brandon Ayuk kind of throws that team back just a little bit more because Van Jefferson, I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't feel about that room. I know there's certain Steeler fans that will disagree. They say their team is good.
Much improved.
We'll see. This is a good game to start. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do think that the Falcons win a low-scoring one here. For you, Damien, how you feel about this?
Give me Falcons. Give me Kyle Pitts breakout game.
Shit, I hope so.
Give me Kyle Pitts breakout game for the first time since his rookie year. I don't like anything about Pittsburgh. I like some of the pieces on defense. Their offensive line, cool. It gets really bad after that. Obviously, you talk about Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields. They still have to evaluate Russell Wilson. Mike Tomlin wouldn't even come out and say when he reported the tightness. He just said he wasn't going to practice. So
And then it's Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you don't practice on Friday, then you don't get no more time to practice. That's the end.
So you got to hope that calf holds up at that point.
And you got to travel.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it to the Falcons just based off the home edge, Russell Wilson being a kind of weird one. Now, their offense just as a whole doesn't really impress me like on the Pittsburgh side. And obviously, a lot of people expect big things from Atlanta this year. Hopefully, you see Bijan Robinson actually get used instead of like the bare usage he got last year. And we'll see what Kirk Cousins looks like off the Achilles. I mean, I think this Atlanta Falcons offense can only go up.
I think this is a very narrative-heavy game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that could play out in this game.
So I'm gonna take the upside of the Atlanta offense led by an actual good quarterback versus hoping that Mike Tomlin can keep his 8-8 team afloat or his 9-8 team afloat.
Yeah, I agree though. I'm with Atlanta. How about you, Demond?
I'm gonna go Falcons.
You lost your run. You lost your runs tonight. I'm just saying. I hate to put you in that position as a man.
True. You know what I mean?
I'm saying
it is gonna be exciting to watch. You know, Justin Simmons, Judon. Like they feel like the Falcons, although like they got most of their retain most of their good players. They feel like a new team. Like it just take that quarterback change, that 1-2 trade. They're gonna feel like a complete different team. I think the Steelers are too for the wrong reasons though, but I got the Falcons winning this game as well.
So we can move on. Obviously, we're on the Falcons. Might get a little bit more spicy here with the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Buffalo Bills. Bills are the favorites, -6.5. Haven't heard any weather implications for this game since we live in this area. Haven't heard anything, but anything can change. Obviously, we live in the worst
Western
area
New York,
in the world. But I'm leaning the Bills here. I think sometimes you just got to go with the better quarterback. And Josh Allen's a better quarterback. I think the Bills got a little bit more structure right now. They got less things to figure out. You're not saying that they don't have anything to figure out. They got less things to figure out, which I would say that this game is going to be a high-scoring game for 2 reasons. One, as much as I do root for DeMar Hamlin as a person, have him in your secondary week 1, that's a choice you made. That's a choice you made as an organization. That's a choice that you made for months now. You didn't try to bring nobody in. Justin Simmons was a free agent, so you had a chance to bring somebody in. Just to have somebody. This team lost
some type of veteran presence.
So much.
You lost 2 veteran safeties.
Yeah, they lost so much. You know what I'm saying? They kind of got a little bit back, but they got to find that identity on offense. I do think that I think it's going to be a James Cook game here. Wink, wink. You guys take that however you want. I do think it's going to be a James Cook game here. I do think it's going to be high scoring. It should be interesting. Like I said, we're hounding a lot of guys this game, like Josh Allen. I got money in for MVP. You got money on Marvin Harrison. As long as they doing good, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to see us all make some money for we'll spin it around to you, Damon. You know, your favorite team, Buffalo Bills. How you feel about them?
I got them winning this week. That's a lie, by the way. Do not listen to that. I got them winning this week. I actually think it's not going to be that high scoring, but I got them winning. Like you said, James Cook game, definitely. It's just going to be interesting to see how the Bills play. I mean, obviously, you run the ball, but how much do they play action? Do Josh Allen still feel like he got to be Superman without Diggs? How do teams guard the Bills now with no Diggs? Like, I know Diggs didn't really do much at the end of the season, but you still got to put your number one defensive back on him.
Yeah.
So who commands that for them? So it'll be interesting to see, but I got the Bills winning this one.
For you, Damien.
Oh, man, I'm not going to say the Bills. I'm not going to say the Bills.
Just gonna say the Cardinals are gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the Bills gonna win. I'm gonna say the Cardinals gonna lose this game. You know what? I will go with the Cardinals. I think that the improvements they're gonna make this year are understated. Last year they had a pretty good end to the season with Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray missed like the first 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of bums starting before that. I couldn't even name who they were starting before that. I think Kyler Murray.
Greg Dortch, bro. So
Greg Dortch about to go crazy. That's wide receiver too. Michael Wilson doesn't exist. No, I really do think the Cardinals have a chance to win this. The Bills' defense is completely revamped, at least on the secondary and the linebacker front.
They're going through a lot.
Yeah,
like a lot of identity changes. Right
their linebackers, their corners, their safeties are a question mark right now, and you're going against a team that likes to throw the ball deep. Kyler Murray does not fear airing that ball out. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to kill whoever is on him to start this first week. I think Rasul Douglas.
I do think Rasul Douglas is listed as the cornerback one. Yes.
So I think that'll be his matchup. I mean, unless he's got safety help, it might get crazy for him. I think Trey McBride is going to feast on their linebackers.
You know who that safety is or something. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I will take the Cardinals. I don't think it's going to be like a low-scoring game. I could see this being like a 28-21, 28-24 kind of thing. Obviously, it's hard to bet against Josh Allen and all that. But like I said, there is so many question marks with the Bills. Obviously, the Cardinals do have that, especially on their defense. The Cardinals' defense is couldn't name you a lot of guys on that defense. Buda Baker, shout out to you. But I think the Cardinals. I'll take the Cardinals 28-24 in that range. I like the Cardinals week 1, even coming into Orchard Park.
Well, I like it. We getting spicy. We got to be on different sides of the fence here. I want to say speak of different sides of the fence because that sounds crazy. But Tennessee visited Chicago. I mean, this is a close. I feel like it's gonna be closer than people think. The odds indicate that's gonna be a close game, but we talked about it, and the Titans are an interesting team. They got a lot to figure out. Chicago got a lot to figure out. It's week 1. Everybody has something to figure out, obviously. But if I had to lean one way over the other, I'll lean Chicago. But I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if the Titans take this game and they dominate this game, because I do think they have everything to go their way. If they already got everything figured out, I didn't hear too much about Tennessee at all during the preseason. I just feel like they've just been floating around for the longest throughout the offseason, and they made great moves. They got Tony Pollard. They got Calvin Ridley. They got a different new head coach, Brian Callahan. Like, they got pieces. They got Levis, everything they needed.
Jamal Adams, too. Come on. Talk about that.
Jamal Adams, clearly not playing linebacker, I see.
Nah, that sack on Caleb Williams gonna hit different, man. Be hype.
Yeah, he gonna drag it. But it should be an interesting game. Like I said, I can see the Tennessee dominating this game, or I see Chicago just pulling it out. Rookie quarterbacks, or I should say more or less number 1 overall quarterbacks, have, I think, lost their last 10 starts. I think they're like 0-10-1 in their last 11 starts. They don't usually win their first starts, but Soldier Field should be rocking. It's probably the best quarterback they've ever had in Caleb Williams. So it should be an interesting game, but I'm gonna lean the Bears. How you feeling about the Caleb Williamses versus the Will Levises?
I'm gonna go Titans. I think the Titans gonna win this game. I think a problem with it though, I think the Bears front, like their interior, and like besides Tremaine Edmonds and Montez Sweat, I'm trying to think of like guys who are like solid, like players that have proven themselves. Somebody has to step up and take that second role, especially on the D line. I think the Titans are going to just run the ball throughout, run the rock. They do have the receivers to, third down, third and long, make a play, but I definitely DeAndre Hopkins is out, right?
As of right now, he's questionable. I'm gonna assume that he could be. I would lean that he's gonna be out. If not out, limited. So
yeah, but I mean Kevin Ridley's still solid.
Yeah. Paid him a lot of money.
They did. He got to be great, But I got the Titans winning this one. I think they're gonna run the ball a lot in this game, and I think they're gonna chew up a lot of the clock. So I'm gonna go Titans.
Break the tie, Damien.
No, I'm Titans. I'm Titans all the way.
I'm the Bears, buddy.
I like the Titans all the way. I'm not in love with Will Levis, and DeAndre Hopkins obviously missing is gonna hurt. They still have Tyler Boyd, still got Calvin Ridley. I guess if you want to count 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝗚 or 𝗏𝗏𝗏 or whatever.
They already said that's a 50-50 tight end room.
Yeah,
Jake does some good things, but Josh Riley does some good things. So they got versatility.
And then and Traylon Burks, I guess. They upgraded the offensive line. They got Cushenberry, who was the best center in the free agency this year.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously had 𝗏𝗏𝗏 playing guard. A couple of, they had the tackle that played well. I think this will be improved offense, especially with Pollard and Tyjae Spears. But I think their defense is going to be way better than people think.
Yep.
I know Jamal Adams is like washed or whatever, but I mean it's still Jamal Adams. He's still a leader in the locker room. They went and got 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Sneed. They still have
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons still playing. I know Landry's not there anymore. Last time I checked.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he signed somewhere else, or maybe he is, but he's just been quiet.
He could be anywhere.
No, I still think he. I think
actually
they
Landry,
lost a linebacker, but I don't think it was Landry.
I think they got Ernest Jones.
And they traded. We'll say that. Well, that's what I was going to bring up next. They traded for Ernest Jones.
Pieces.
I think their defense can definitely hold their own against. Like I said, rookie quarterbacks don't typically have the best starts, even going against an offense like this. And I don't
want that narrative around my boy on his first start,
bad,
though.
Bro.
Like I don't want that.
I really like Callahan. I mean, Callahan did a great job in Cincinnati. It didn't run the quickest offense, but he ran an efficient enough offense.
Man, he ran plays for goddamn Jake Browning to look great. You can't tell me he can't make Will Levis look like a top 15 quarterback in the league. He was
Will
drafted
Levis has
as
the physicals and stuff.
You know what I'm saying? He was drafted as, you're gonna be playing here for the next decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if he won the second round, like that's still like you're here for the next decade kind of.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Titans. I really like the Titans, so I like that one.
Well, y'all not allies, so there's that. We can start with you, Damon. Patriots versus the Bengals. Now, you know your team better than I do. These are the longest odds. Patriots the biggest underdog this week. Do you see a path for the Patriots going in Cincinnati and win this game?
I actually do. Like, I'm not gonna put more than $10 on it, but I'll throw a little $5 bet on there. I could see the
That's
Patriots
enough for a
winning
bill. On the way these odds looking, that's enough for a bill.
I can see the Patriots winning this. Number one, the Bengals I feel like they always start slow in the season. Like they always start slow. I think even last year they were like 1-3 or something like that.
Yeah, Joe Burrow started.
The year they went to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
They started off slow. So I feel like they start the season off a lot slow. They got a new offensive coordinator, Jamar Chase, just came back to practice. Their running back room got worse. I think they lost. Who did they lose on defense?
DJ Reader.
Yeah, DJ Reader and then Hendrick. I forgot the D lineman name. I think he re-signed.
He wanted to get paid.
Yeah, okay. So their secondary. I mean, granted, the Patriots wide receivers ain't all that, but the Bengals secondary is not the greatest. They don't have the greatest front seven. Offensively, obviously, they have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. But I trust Gerard Mayo. I trust the New England Patriots defense to find some type of game plan, keep them limited. I have the Bengals settling for a lot of field goals this game. And I think the Patriots are going to just run the rock the whole game. I got this game being probably 17-14, something like that. If you can stop them on third down and get the ball back and milk a lot of time, Ramondre Stevenson, runs for big gains and stuff like that. I got them winning. Obviously, you score a touchdown or two in the first quarter against the Patriots, the game is over. But if you stop that, you keep them off the field as much as you can, I got the Patriots winning. So even if I wasn't a Patriots fan, I'm looking at the Bengals team. I'm like, like Jamar Chase to sit out.
A lot of things are not going their way this offseason.
You know what I mean? So, but I got the Patriots winning. I'm not going to be saying that a lot this year, but this is the 1 week I'm going to say I got the Patriots winning.
For you, Damien, who you leaning this way?
I'm not going to say the Patriots, bro.
I understand.
All right.
Like, I probably, and I'm saying this in all confidence, I think I'd have more faith in the Patriots if Drake May was playing.
Me as well.
Strictly because I think he has a better chance to extend plays and make plays out of nothing. I've seen Jacoby Brissett play quarterback with my own two eyes for my own team.
I feel like everybody in the world can say that. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah,
so many people in the world. Every podcast host damn near I feel like can say that.
Yeah. No, literally. I don't hate Jacoby Brissett or anything like that, but I don't see him doing anything crazy. the Patriots offense already has a lot of question marks. The offensive line, for the money that they've put into it, has not necessarily been the greatest.
Yep.
Your wide receivers are all unproven, except for Kendrick Bourne.
And he out.
And he's
Pop Douglas.
And Pop Douglas, he was solid last year. Yeah, I will say that. But you got Jalen Polk. Tyquan Thornton looks like he's gonna be a starter now. Javon Baker's not gonna start yet. Javon Baker I'm big on. I just can't see a path for the Patriots win this. I mean, if their defense steps up, like I said, we'll see if Mayo runs a good defense. Maybe Christian Gonzalez has a pick six or something.
Yeah.
But I like the Bengals here. I still think you just got to go with them. Even if Jamar Chase plays, obviously that's a big boost. We'll see if he actually is going to suit up. But I have to lean the Bengals here. Even though the Bengals, like I said, they have a lot of question marks. Mm-hmm. They don't know what their future looks like outside of Joe Burrow right now.
Yeah,
but
they're in hell. I'm going to piggyback off what you said, Damon. I want to say you guys played the Bengals last year, right?
We played them 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? I thought you guys played them last year.
We might have played.
I do remember y'all giving them a very, very, very hard time.
Until 5'9", Marcus Jones guarded 6'5", T. Higgins. We could have won that game.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago now that you say that. Okay, so this is Patriots defense who it has to be bad for me to like literally say they're going to be bad. And even when they start bad, they still finish strong. So looking at everything like with the Bengals, Jamar Chase contract situation, T. Higgins contract situation, Zach Moss and Chase Brown are lesser players than Joe Mixon. We can admit that for sure. So this offense is going through a lot. If Joe Burrow does start slow, which he can, this is a tough defense. I can see the Patriots winning, but I have to lean the Cincinnati Bengals strictly off the fact that they just have a really, really good start to the season where we are put to the ultimate test. We're going against a tough defense. We're at home. We can start 1-0. We can set the tone for the season. I can't see them watching potentially the Ravens fall maybe tonight and losing this game being like, damn, we started off in a terrible hole. We're probably going to be terrible if we lose this game.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to be in a terrible spot. We're going to have to pay Jamar Chase a whole bunch of money because if you watch the Ravens lose, that might be your fate next week because they play the Chiefs next week. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna this is like a must-win game to me. So I'm a lean Cincinnati. Understand that the implications that they want to go and play the Chiefs at 1-0. I would have to assume that they're gonna play this game and try different things. They might struggle, but I'm gonna lean it. I'm gonna lean the Bengals for the fact that this is literally a must-win game for them, in my honest opinion. That being said, we can move on to the next game. Houston at Indy.
I'm taking Indy.
We can start with you. Yeah,
I'm taking Indy. Anthony Richardson killed Indy both times he played them last year.
I was gonna say Indy just owns Houston.
Anthony Richardson only played like 3-4 games last year, and he killed Houston twice.
Yeah, motherfucker killed him in 5 weeks.
Yeah, so
he must got something against Indy.
Yeah, I really think they are going to. I think Houston is the better team, but it's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Steichen, or maybe he just knows what he's doing. They match up very, very well.
Steichen just picks apart. I feel like just any defense, as long as he gets the right preparation and the right ability out of his players. Like, I can't say there was a game last year where I was like, "Oh, this offense just looks ridiculous." I feel like every game, like he had the plan, it just didn't have the player.
Yeah, exactly. So. I really like it. I think Anthony Richardson has a big game. I'm not saying he's going to throw all over the place, but between the rushing and the passing, I think the biggest question mark for the Colts is stopping Nico Collins, to be honest, because Nico Collins, even though they killed the Texans both times, Nico Collins went for like 150 yards each time he played them last year. So that's gonna be a tough ask, especially because the best corner for the Colts is a nickel, and they didn't really address that.
They refused to address it too. I don't think they even took a cornerback.
I don't think they did, or at least they didn't take one with a higher pick.
Yeah.
But they did take 𝗚𝗏𝗚𝗏. Get to that quarterback if. We could see a big game for him, but I mean, I'm pretty sure depending on where he lines up, he'll be going against Laremy Tunsil, so that's not the greatest start.
It's not a great start. It's a good start to your career.
Yeah, for sure.
Iron sharp
trial by fire. But yeah, I like the Colts. I think the Colts I don't think it's gonna be like a crazy blowout or nothing like that. I think it'll be a close game, but I like the Colts. I like to give them the edge.
For you, Damon, who you leaning this way? You got C.J. Stroud or you got Anthony Richardson? I mean, it's a matchup of the future. This is both teams franchise guys.
I'm gonna go C.J. Stroud. I'm gonna go to Texans. I mean, obviously, you get Diggs, one of the bigger moves in the offseason. I still like their defense. Derek Stingley was definitely improving by the end of the season. I mean, you got to stop the run. I think the Texans defense is good enough to where if you make Anthony Richardson throw 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, they could win. But you got to stop him from running. You got to stop Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it's easy to say if every team stopped everybody's best player, they would do it.
If you stop this guy, then obviously that would limit this team.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean? But if you can make Anthony Richardson, I don't want to say throw per se because I still feel like he can scramble out. But I feel like you trust your DBs against their wide receivers. And I feel like you could put 7 guys in the box. You could trust Derek Stingley 1-on-1. You could trust, I forgot their second corner name.
I don't know who it is, but I know they have a lot of new guys.
Yeah, a lot of new
like
guys.
Taking over. Like their whole defense looks brand new. Like realistic.
You trust your pass rush right there. You send blitzes out there, make Anthony Richardson, make Reed, stuff like that. I think C.J. Stroud is going to be the more composed quarterback in this game. I think the Texans are going to end up winning.
It'll be a tough thing for Richardson to have to process quick because he will have Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter coming after him.
Exactly. That's why I'm gonna go with the Texans here. I do think that I'm very low on the Colts overall this year. If there's any game they are gonna win, it's gonna be against Houston because they just dominate them. That's just one of those teams they always beat. But both teams can set their tone for the season. Either Houston can figure out what kind of team they want to be because I don't want them to run the ball a bunch. I want them to kind of lean like 60-40 from pass to run. Do I think they start to do that in week 1? No. I do think there are going to be some learning curves to all that talent. I think sometimes too much talent can be a bad thing when you're trying to game plan. Bringing in a diva, some Bills fans might be, yeah, he's a fucking diva. Diggs, but he does want targets. He's going to go somewhere where he thinks he wants targets, and it's hard for him to imagine going to a place with the most target competition in his whole career.
He picked the Texans as a trade destination.
He did not. He necessarily didn't pick the Texans, but it's hard for me to imagine that he did not want to go to the Texans, knowing that the level of quarterback play is, I wouldn't say linear, but in that range of Josh Allen. So for me personally, I will be leaning the Texans because I do think that their defense will make Anthony Richardson extremely uncomfortable. I think DeMeco Ryans will draw up a scheme where Anthony Richardson will have to throw the ball a lot, but it's not like he didn't throw the ball great last year against them. He did. I think that's his best game was at home against the Texans. So I'm gonna lean the Texans, but I feel like that's gonna be a pretty interesting game to set the tone for both teams for the whole entire season.
Division implications.
Yeah. Next up, we'll start off with you, Damien. Jacksonville visiting Miami. Who you got in this one, and why? Is it the Dolphins?
It's got to be the Dolphins.
It got to be the Dolphins.
It got to be the Dolphins.
Okay.
It got to be the Dolphins, bro.
Let me pick your brain. Do it got to be the Dolphins?
I think coming into Hard Rock Stadium, first game of the season, my biggest question mark is obviously if Jalen Ramsey's going to play. Did not practice yesterday or today. Obviously, that's the biggest question, especially with what seems like a new wide receiver who are obviously coming in, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence coming off a big deal. Maybe he wants to improve his play a little bit more. But for all the question marks they have, the Dolphins don't have question marks on their offense. The Dolphins go out and get a new center. They have Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, hopefully in a bigger role. Mostert came back. Our offense is going to fly around the field. Yeah. Even with Jacksonville's defense. I know they got good linebackers. Their corners aren't horrible. But it's hard to match up with us no matter what, even no matter who you are. And really, you don't see too many teams find a way to stop us outside of like the really top teams.
That weather do.
They're in Hard Rock for reasons.
I wait till December. So I'm not. Start rubbing my hands in December against Tua.
We talking about September.
You're right.
September Tua.
The biggest question mark right now for us is the entire defense. Is Anthony Weaver? What kind of defense is he going to run? Coming in from Baltimore. We have to see how that matches up against Trevor Lawrence. But I think the Dolphins have this game. I think that they fly all over shit and they score big on Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'll piggyback right off you.
I think what Tyreek Hill
I'll make it pretty simple. I think Miami is going to kill them. Yeah. I'm very low on Jacksonville this year, just because I think they just need a culture reset real quick. Really small one. I don't think they got the bad talent or nothing. I think they need to figure out some things on defense. I think they're going to get a lot of sacks this year. I don't think this is the game they will be getting them though. I just think that Miami's offense is so much better than their defense that they're gonna be scoring I think they're gonna be like a 38 to 17 kind of game. I think this is a game where Tyreek Hill scores, Waddle scores, like you see the actual potential of this offense to this defense. And I do think Miami's defense got a lot to figure out, but I don't think Jacksonville has the offense enough to put that pressure on them this week. Next week is a different conversation, obviously. Yeah. But we have to talk about what I see here, and I do think the Dolphins kind of just walk all over.
Whatever Tyreek Hill's about to do to Jacksonville.
What he about to do to Jacksonville, it's illegal.
He might not be.
Illegal.
He might not be.
It's illegal in 49 states. The only state is not illegal in is Florida. That's why the fuck he gonna do it. So. And I was like, they ain't gotta go. They ain't gotta travel far. You go back home, like, damn, he really did that to us. Like, yeah, he did that to you.
You know, you got a plane ride to think about it.
You just
gotta get on the bus.
Just hop right in your phone car and just drive by that shit.
He might not be plus money to score a touchdown ever again.
Never again. For you, Damon, who you got in this one?
I got Dolphins flooding the Jaguars. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because now, granted, if the Jets didn't play the Niners, you know, I like to take that screenshot when the Patriots aren't last in their division. But the Dolphins play the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I'm gonna get the Dolphins gonna flood them, in my opinion.
Yep. Simple and sweet right there for us. Carolina visiting New Orleans. I'll spark it off. I'm high on Carolina this year. But the Saints just kill people in week one. Somehow, some way, they always have a really good week one. I'm going to go with the Saints here, but this is going to be the last time you see this Panthers team lose to the Saints team, realistically. I think they're going to be lapping this team. I think they're the better team. I think we can see a really good effort out of Carolina this year. Expect a big game out of Deontay Johnson, who was going against a Saints defense where he's going to just find those holes. They're very aggressive. If Bryce Harper gets this, Bryce Harper. Home run. Philadelphia Phillies player Bryce Harper. Okay. So if Bryce Young gets his ball out quick, I do think that they could put some real hurt on this New Orleans team. Like I said, they're on the road, so I'm going to lean the Saints. But like this is gonna be one of the last time the Panthers was his Saints team. I'll be honest. I'll start off with that. I just think that the Carolina Panthers are gonna start picking up, you know, some really good tendencies with Dave Canales. It's only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? They got everything in place, in my honest opinion. I don't think they're a bad team. Losing Brian Burns obviously sucks. They're gonna have to adjust to that. But it's not like Derek Carr ain't no world beater now.
Yeah,
he ain't no world beater.
That's what I'm going to piggyback off of, is that at the end of the day, I don't think Derek Carr is some like great quarterback that's going to go out there and will this team to victory.
He going to score 20 points. If you can score 21, you got it.
Yeah.
Realistically.
I have high hopes for the Panthers. I mean, I had high hopes for them last year when Frank Reich was a terrorist. I think
this one's big for me.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
I think Canales is definitely going to unlock Bryce Young. In the preseason, I thought Bryce Young, at least in the one game against the Bills, looked super
really
comfortable. Get him out on the get him out of the pocket. Get him on rollouts. Get him moving around. He does not need to be a pocket passer. Yeah,
make him chalant.
Like he does not need to be a pocket passer. That's not what he was at Bama, and he doesn't need to be one now. I'm not saying he has to run around like Kyler Murray or nothing.
Yeah.
But bootlegs and stuff like that, get him in space and letting his wide receivers, especially somebody like Deontay Johnson, who has always been good at finding the holes in space, is perfect for him. I think that they'll smash the Saints, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
I think they're going to smash the Saints.
I'm going to smash you.
Yeah, I don't care for the Saints at all. I don't think they have a bright spot right now.
I'm very low on the Saints this year.
I don't think they have a bright spot. I mean, Dennis Allen is he's another terrorist. That's a Frank Reich. They level, they neck and
throwing
neck.
that word around. we gotta do we have to censor that? Like,
everybody's won.
No, yeah, I swear that they
a lot
really
of terrorism going on in that game.
The NFC South. No, man, but I like the Panthers a lot in this game.
For you, Demond, you gonna break the tie?
I'm gonna go Saints. I think this the game Dennis Allen gotta win because like he gonna get fired by the end of the season. So like, yo, I beat the Panthers though. Like you gotta keep me.
Like see if they hire you.
Like I beat the Panthers, you know. But week one, Saints at home. Their defense, I feel like it's going to lock in when they need it the most. Mm-hmm. As 𝗚𝗏𝗄𝗚 is playing, I think.
Yeah, 𝗚𝗏𝗄𝗚.
Okay, 𝗚𝗏𝗄𝗚 is playing. I do expect a big game out of Chris Olave. It's like I feel like I haven't seen him play in like forever.
Right. J.C. Horn is locking that.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping that they that Jason Horn has a good year all around. Just personally, because I'm a huge J.C. Horn fan, but that is just.
It's a nasty game, regardless.
It's a nasty. It's going to be a nasty game. Like I said,
NFC South matchups are 20
always
points.
Nasty. It's up to you to score 21. Realistically, with this offense and New Orleans side, I don't know, man. They ain't great. Like I said, they ain't no world beaters or nothing. Speaking of world beaters, we had the best 1:00 game. Minnesota visiting New York. Darnold versus Jones. I mean, do it get better than this? Do it get any better than that?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings just because of Brian Flores' defense.
I'm not even gonna mention pain on Daniel Jones.
I'm not even gonna mention Kevin O'Connell's offense. He could do what he does. Mm-hmm. Brian Flores' defense is gonna make Daniel Jones' life a hell. I mean, regular defenses make Daniel Jones' life hell. Mm-hmm. Brian Flores is gonna have them.
Daniel Jones make Daniel Jones' life
practice make it.
Yeah. So Brian Flores is gonna have him flustered back there as if he wasn't already. I could see I would bet the Vikings defense will score a touchdown in this game.
That's fair.
Andrew Van Ginkel pick 6.
I'm hoping. I want to get Van Ginkel to be a defensive player of the year candidate by like November, just for shits and giggles. For you, Damon, how you feeling?
Well, if I want my Vikings narrative to prevail, they gotta beat the Giants. So I'm gonna go Vikings.
What's this Vikings narrative?
I didn't hear.
I got the Vikings making a playoff push this year, bro. Low key.
They make
You
a
a Darnold fan like
Low
that?
key. Even if they trade for a quarterback,
I mean, understandable. If they do trade for a quarterback, things can get very interesting if they feel like they
Brady
need
coming out of
to.
retirement.
But, I think the offense is like Sam Darnold got to be decent, like just decent. You got
all he
Hawkinson,
gotta do is be
Addison,
decent.
Justin Jefferson. You got good old line. Hopefully run good or run better than you did last year. But I got the Vikings win this. I think Malik Neighbors is gonna have a good game though. Everybody's hyped, whatever. But I think they're gonna get probably like third, fourth quarter. They're just gonna run away with it. So I got Vikings.
It's nice to see LSU versus LSU wide receivers. Obviously, on both sides.
They're
I expect
they'll take a picture, gap up, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know of any like really good corners in Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dexter, when you see this video. But I'm gonna say Neighbors has a good game. I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson have a good game. I say it's gonna be a nasty game. I'll lean the Vikings because I do think the Vikings are just literally a quarterback away. The Giants got a lot more going on.
Wait, the Giants are at home?
Giants are at home.
Ooh, I ain't gonna lie, Justin Jefferson, you might want to sit this one out. I don't like that stadium.
I prefer if you do it as little as possible. But he drag it.
He drag it.
He real lateral. You know what I'm saying?
He could be gritty on a 32 catch, like chill out.
32 catch.
It's cool though.
We go from shit to shit. I mean, it don't get much worse than the two back-to-back matches. I mean, the Vegas Raiders visiting the Chargers. I mean, we'll start with you, Damian. Your favorite quarterback is featured in this game, Gardner Minshew. You really thought I was going to talk about?
I thought you were going to do
Herbert.
it.
Yeah, I don't want to get you out of character.
Unfortunately, you know what? Nah, screw that. I got the Raiders.
You got the Raiders.
Wow.
You were high on the Raiders.
Yeah,
man.
I really think the Raiders' defense is what's going to carry them. I'm not saying that their offense is going to produce it all. Gardner Minshew is not some like bottom of the barrel quarterback. There are worse quarterbacks that start in this league than Gardner Minshew.
Who name him?
Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold.
We just talked about it.
You right.
Just talked about it.
Gardner Minshew is enough to win. He's not going to go out there and win you games, but he's good enough to not lose you games. And I really think this Raiders defense could be like, no lie, top 10. To be honest, that D line is the best in football.
Yeah,
Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Kuntz was good last year. I mean, what's his name did not pan out, at least so far.
Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's moving inside. I
mean, we'll see. I mean, playing next to Christian Wilkins, that's a possibility to help him, especially. And I don't hate their secondary either. I mean, Morig's been good. They got Marcus Epps from the Eagles.
Yeah, Jack
who's
Jones.
solid. Jack Jones was really good pickup for them last year. Shout out to the Patriots. I think they just like playing for Antonio Pierce. Like they looked competitive down the stretch last year when Antonio Pierce took over, and now he got all his guys in there. He brought in coaches to help him out. I could see the Raiders winning this. I don't think it's going to be a good game by any means. I think it's going to be nasty because I don't like Greg Roman running offenses.
I got 2 words for you. 3 words. Sorry. Herbert is elite.
Okay.
Give me the Chargers. I don't think Herbert's elite actually, but I don't think Harbaugh is losing his debut. That's the only thing I don't think Harbaugh is losing his debut.
I respect that.
I think it's gonna be a disgusting
It's in
game.
LA?
Yes, in LA. I think it'll be a disgusting game. But every game played in LA is realistically a road game. They don't have really fan support. Maybe things turn around with Harbaugh there. If he can rally the troops, he can. I just don't think that's a good. Whenever the Raiders come in town, they just flood that stadium all the time. It literally always happens. But I just don't think he's loses his debut with the Chargers. I'm not high on the Chargers. I'm not high on the Raiders either. But if I had to lean one way, it definitely would be Chargers. Close game, but nothing too crazy. We starting to pick it up a little bit. It don't get great, but it get better. We got Denver visiting Seattle.
By the way, I got the Chargers winning. You ain't asked me, but I wasn't. I
thought you said.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
I thought you.
Nah, I wasn't.
No, I thought you.
I wasn't gonna break it down, but
He just didn't want to say Herbert was great in front of him.
You know what I mean?
No, I want to say it. Herbert's better than who?
No, I mean he can throw farther. I think.
Remember that one throw that was gassing?
Yeah, against the Bucks when they killed Tyrod Taylor for him to play. Great.
It was gassing.
Bro, I remember they was using that Jalen Guyton touchdown for Justin Herbert for 3 years.
For the last 3 years, he ain't throw a touchdown that's good since.
Like yo,
but I mean, since you're on the same page, Herbert, we're really in the Chargers side. But since I forgot to talk to you last time,
you started off with.
I'll start off with you. You got Denver. They going into Seattle. Crazy, this game kicked off Monday Night Football 3 years ago. things are completely different for Denver.
A little
Things are
flip-flop now.
kind of really similar for the Seattle Seahawks. So who you got and why?
This is the first year without Pete Carroll? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yes.
Okay.
First
so
year
that's
without Pete Carroll,
I ain't gonna lie, I got the Seahawks flooding the Broncos. I'll be honest. Like the Seahawks at home, right?
Yes,
I got them flooding them.
and they're favored. They're like
Bo Nix first game. I think the Seahawks are gonna give them hell. Again, great secondary. Front seven's getting better. I got them flooding them. I'll be honest. I just don't think the Broncos have a lot of offense. They definitely don't got no speed. Like I feel like the Seahawks is gonna be flying out there. The Broncos ain't got no guy that can. I don't know.
Their offense ain't built for that anyways. I'll be honest with you. That I don't hate the Broncos. We were talking about it before. I like Bo Nix' situation and all that. But I do think Seattle's defense is going to improve from what it did last year, bringing in McDonald from the Ravens.
Oh my God! If he's running like even just 10% more man,
bruh,
compared to last year, they're
it's a Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen is already one thing. But then Julian Love, who came from the Giants, was outstanding. I don't know who their other starting safety is because I know what's his name. Diggs left.
Yeah, he went to the.
But Titans. I know, but it doesn't even matter. Like Julian Love, Tariq Woolen, and Witherspoon in that secondary is crazy.
That's enough to.
That's enough.
That's enough to carry you.
I don't think Bo Nix is going to stretch the field, and not that the Broncos have a field stretcher to begin with. And it's going to have to be a lot of underneath stuff, like how that offense is already built, but I just don't see it being enough to get past Seattle.
Hey, I'm high on Seattle all year. I've been saying it. I mean, I bet them to win the division, so they better win this goddamn game. They got to win the easy ones. I do think they're going to be flying out there. I expect a huge game out of whatever wide receiver, whether it's DK, whether it's JSN, whoever's not being guarded by Patrick Surtain. I expect a huge game out of them.
They better put Surtain on JSN.
If they know what's good for him.
Motherfuckers better clone for Surtain or something.
They got to do a lot to stop that.
I feel bad for Surtain, man. He's in such a bad spot.
Yeah, it sucks because
he got paid though.
Supposed to get traded, but man, things are looking a little bit different now. We got Tom Brady's broadcast debut. Dallas Cowboys visiting my Cleveland Browns. I'll let you go first, Damon. How you feeling about this Dallas Cowboys team heading into this season? With everything going on, with the CeeDee Lamb stuff going on, Dak Prescott still didn't get paid. Michael Parsons still got to get paid. His best friends in Houston. What can we really say that hasn't been said about this Cowboys team?
I'll tell you, I want to see how. I think this week is going to determine a lot about the Cowboys. Like, obviously, they never go far, like make a deep playoff run. But CeeDee Lamb has not been paid, or no, CeeDee Lamb was paid. Michael Parsons is the one that's not getting paid.
Yep, and Dak, and they said they're closer on the deal than they were yesterday. But season coming up, I'm assume they don't get that.
I think they just lost. They lost DeRon Bland and is Trayvon Diggs playing.
I think Diggs will be back, but Bland's out 6 to 8 weeks.
So their secondary, the Cowboys secondary, low key is kind of shaky. I ain't gonna lie. So
you gotta hope Diggs is back at 100%.
Say it.
I ain't gonna lie. I might take the Browns on this one. I'm gonna be honest. I might take the Browns.
I like to hear.
Secondary is crazy right now. Wouldn't lie. I mean, obviously their offense is good, but I think the Browns have enough talent defensively to we can get a stop here and there, make a tackle that we need to. But the Cowboys secondary against Amari Cooper, his former team, I think Elijah Moore is gonna be good this year. I got the Browns winning this one, low key.
For you, Damien, how you feel about this game?
I like the Browns too. I don't think even with CeeDee Lamb getting paid, the Cowboys have been on a decline for a while. I mean, I guess there's not really a way to decline. We don't do much outside of the regular season.
Right though.
Dak Prescott still has to get paid. Michael Parsons still has to get paid, as you said. Their defense, I don't know a defender on that team that's not named Michael Parsons or Trevon Diggs at this point.
They're
relying on a second-year linebacker to be their main guy.
Yeah,
not that Vander Esch. I know he's gone now. He was hurt a lot. Demarion Overshown's gonna be their main linebacker now. Yeah. Guy that didn't play at all last year, really. He's got a big responsibility now in the middle of that field. Malik Hooker, who has been on and off for his entire career, the only safety I could think of.
Bring Jalen Smith back. Come on.
Yeah,
right.
I like that.
Bring Jalen Smith back.
The college legend. I just think the Browns, coming off of last year, Deshaun Watson, this is going to be his first game time in 315 days. Mm-hmm. It's tough, but I think that they could still match some of that. We'll see if the offense changes at all with how they ran it with Flacco compared to Watson again.
Yeah.
But I just prefer to see Watson throwing to Cooper and Njoku coming off a big year, Jerry Jeudy in a new system. Jerome Ford had a good year last year. I'm pretty sure did you guys play the Cowboys last year? I feel like he had a good game against somebody like that last year.
Who?
Forward. He didn't play the Cowboys, did you?
Maybe
it was the Colts. Maybe it was the Colts. He had a great game. Yeah. I still just like the Browns, and it'll be fun to see that along with Tom Brady's first thing game broadcast. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But I am going to lean the Browns.
I'm definitely going Browns in this one. It was a little bit difficult for me to like keep my bias out of it, but I attribute a lot to the Dallas lack of taking care of their business. When you take that long to pay CeeDee Lamb, you basically slap him in the face saying like, we don't need you. Micah Parsons, like I said, his best friend in Houston, so he'll be in Houston. And next year around this time, we're talking about Micah in Houston. Same thing with Dak Prescott. He's talking about testing the market. You don't want to hear that stuff on game week.
No,
you could have said that last week. Could have said that week.
Could have said that during the summer.
You could have said it any other time.
CeeDee Lamb
Saying that
got
during like these are the last couple of days of practice. You're talking about testing the market. That's not what you want to hear. I believe in our defense over that offense because I don't think they did enough to add pieces to the team that was not great in the playoffs. They had a horrible game against the Packers. They looked terrible against the run. What do? They don't add any run stoppers. They don't do anything. They lose to Ron Bland, who was their top cornerback last year. He wasn't great, but he had a lot of plays made, kind of like a Diggs light, kind of even better than Diggs with the whole pick six kind of streak he had going on. But I'm looking at this Cowboys defense was a very overrated unit. And if the Browns can, mix it up well with Jerome Ford, who I feel like could have a good game against a team that does not stop to run
Did you guys
well.
bring back Foreman?
We did bring
Would it be
back
your
Foreman.
top two
He's in the 53-man roster as well. So it should be pretty interesting. I do think we mix it up pretty well. I don't see Watson throwing the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think I need to see them do is just like don't make Watson throw it too much.
Yeah.
Like just get him started with some easy stuff. You don't need to have him out there trying to throw it down the field to Amari.
No, he needs to. The way he getting paid, he needs to.
I would love to see him, but if we ease him into it and just keeps him around the whole year, whatever the case may be, we just need to do that. And I do believe that the Browns do win this game. Moving on to our last 4 o'clock game, we got the Commanders visiting the Bucks. I'll keep it short and sweet. I think the Bucks beat up on this Washington team. I'm not high on the Bucks this year, but I do not think that the Washington Commanders made the right adjustments to their outside corners to stop the Bucks, who have one of the best outside corners for the last decade with Mike Evans. You can take that however you want. I mentioned the Mike Evans game. I mentioned the James Cook game. I mentioned the Tyreek Hill game. I'm not saying it's not a parlay I'm betting. I'm just saying this is a parlay that I'm thinking about. So
we're on the edge.
Me, personally, I'm about to say the Cowboys. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating up on this Commanders team.
I'm not even going to get into it too much outside of the fact that I just think the Bucks are going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out.
Bucky Irvin touchdown too, maybe. I don't know. I'm all over the place.
I'm going to say Buccaneers win. I mean, I don't think the Commanders getting Dan Quinn was like a crazy thing. I mean, you go from Ron Rivera with defensive coach to Dan Quinn, defensive coach. Cliff Kingsbury going to make Terry McLaurin play on one side of the field forever. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. I mean, the Bucs defense ain't great, but I don't think I'd want to start against them for my first game either.
Oh no.
So I don't expect much from the Commanders in this first week. I think the Buccaneers walk them. Won't be a blowout or nothing, but it ain't gonna be no close game either.
Yeah. For you, Demond, how you feeling about?
I got Bucks winning. I'm betting Levante David interception. This is last season. He been around since Warren Sapp. I swear, bro. Like
he don't feel that old, but he is that old. I'm saying he old enough.
Like 31, 32, but he been in the league 15.
Like
he give me CJ.
He might be mid 30s.
He giving me CJ Mosley vibes. Like
yeah,
but it's cool. I got Bucks winning.
Huge Sunday night football game, playoff rematch. Rams visiting the Lions. I'll kick it off right here and say this is gonna be an insane game. The odds indicate that the Lions are pretty decent favorites, but I'm gonna lean the Rams here. We said it last year during the playoffs. I thought the Rams were gonna beat the Lions, and I'm gonna plant my flag again and fuck it. Rams gonna beat the Lions. Yeah. They gotta beat them at some point. It's not like they can't keep beating them. You know what I'm saying? They gotta lose to them at some point.
This is the Stafford revenge game. This is the real one.
I think it's gonna be a huge game for Stafford. I think that Detroit made necessary changes to their team. They got better in the run defense. They added DJ Reader, but their cornerbacks are still a huge question. They finally did draft one this year.
And that's a horrible start for a corner to have to go against Cooper Kupp
or Puka Nacua. Terry Arnold, he got the confidence like crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean
he said he'd press his mother into the ground. Mm-hmm. That's a player. That's a player I want to play with. That's a player I want to play against. But I'm not Puka Nacua. I'm not Cooper Kupp, and I think they love to play against a rookie cornerback on prime time when Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, whoever it is, saying waiting all day for a Sunday night. I mean, shit. I mean, I think the most is gonna be high in this game. I think it'll be a huge game. I'm gonna go with the Rams here.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna pick the Rams no matter what. I think that Stafford has a big game. And I think a fully healthy Rams team like this too, and I think they made the right adjustments on defense too. I mean, yeah, they lost Ernest Jones. I guess that's tough, but their D line got better. Losing Aaron Donald is big, but I don't know. I see the Rams winning this one.
Yeah. For you, Damon, how you?
I'm gonna go Lions.
You turned your back on the world, but
I got
continue,
to,
bro. Whatever you gotta say, bro.
I gotta go Lions. I think it's gonna be a really, really good game though. I think the Rams gonna shock a lot of people. Obviously, we're gonna hear. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs get an 11-yard run. Oh, Aaron Donald was right there. Now he's not. I mean, the big loss was Aaron Donald, number 99. He's not there no more.
99 not there no more.
99 not there no more. So obviously that 11-yard run is gonna happen every time. But I got the Lions winning. I definitely think. I think the corner. I think they got Tre'Davious White, the Rams.
Yeah.
I still think St. Brown goes berserk this game.
I don't think anybody's gonna stop him.
Yeah, I think James Williams is gonna have a big game though. That's what I was gonna say. I think James Williams is gonna have a big game.
He could.
But I got the Lions winning this one.
I like how we all split on that. Obviously, for both reasons. Like both teams can attack both teams
pretty
weaknesses.
evenly.
So it could be a high score game or it could be a really low scoring game.
It can come down to just who makes the first mistake.
Who has the ball last. Last but not least, we got Monday Night Football. Once again, it's not that date, so we don't got to run out with the American flag this time. So we got Aaron Rodgers visiting, you know what I'm saying, the Bay Area. You know he's from out there. I'll start with you, Damon. How you feel about this Jets-Niners matchup?
It's unfortunate because, the Patriots are not going to be last in their division. So I got that screenshot all year. I got the Niners winning it. Although McCaffrey is hurt. He's like battling an injury. I don't know. Then the coach come on and say it's not the injury he already was dealing with. It's a new one, but it's not as bad as the old one. I don't know what's going on with McCaffrey. But I don't know what's going on. You got paid finally. I'm tired of his bitch ass. I mean, I'm tired of him. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever. Like, Trent Williams got paid, even though the reasoning behind Trent Williams getting paid is a little OD.
You heard him?
My man's getting shot is a reason. Like,
so I'm gonna sign for the highest amount of money I possibly could.
That shit. My man's got shot.
I ain't gonna tell Trent Williams that. I ain't gonna tell him
I'm not gonna tell him that at all. But I got the Niners winning this. It's gonna be really interesting to see Aaron Rodgers play a game there, hopefully a full game there. Yeah. Kind of see what goes on with their team, but I got the Niners winning. I think they got too much. Even though the Jets' defense is really good, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but I got the Jets winning. I mean the Niners winning this one.
Mm-hmm. For you, Damien, you said Niners.
Yeah, I did, but I was lying. I really do think the Jets are gonna win.
I'm on the Jets as well.
I really do think the Jets are gonna win, man. I don't know what it is. I think the whole narrative of this being Aaron Rodgers' first real game again for the Jets after the whole injury last year. Going into the team that he thought was going to draft him. Now, I get he struggled against the Niners when he was with the Packers. I get that,
but it's always that chip on his
shoulder.
Yeah,
but that's always been his issue. But I feel like this is just a reinvigorated Aaron Rodgers. You got to go out there and prove it now. You got hurt last year, you didn't even get a chance to play.
Yep.
You threw 2 passes, then got hurt.
Yeah.
So you go out there. Garrett Wilson's expected to have a big year. Breece Hall. They went and reinforced the offensive line. Tyron Smith, I guess, has looked like his old self again. Fashanu, obviously, was a top. I think they took top 11 pick, top 10 pick.
Yeah, he picked him at 11.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just I don't know. I can't see a way. I mean, the Niners are still recovering on defense. They lost another cornerback. Hufanga's still not healthy.
Yeah.
Greenlaw is out from the Super Bowl injuries. Fred Warner still is a force. But they, Nick Bosa, they didn't really do anything to put anybody next to Nick Bosa. I mean, I guess you want to count Chase Young, but he went to the Saints.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I see a big game from the Jets, and I do think Brock Purdy struggles against this Jets defense.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Niners had a terrible preseason in terms of everything with the Brandon Ayuk stuff. They had Deebo Samuel being their number 1 wide receiver. They had to test it out. He looked terrible against man press, as he always does. He has for the last 6 years of his career. I mean, he's not a good cornerback against man. Jets run a lot of man. But I look at this Jets team, I do think they match up pretty well on defense. I do think they completely make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. There's going to be a lot of conversations to be had about this.
You better be lucky Hassan Reddick's not playing.
Realistically, I said this team could be way better, but
that motherfucker's about to quit football. A public release saying we're not going to trade you.
It's one of those things where, man, money talks, man. So it's why didn't you extend them before the trade even is finalized.
Right.
You don't trade, then you wait all this time. It's like, I don't know. They handled that poorly, but nothing as poor as the Niners have with the Ayuk and Trent Williams situation.
Yeah,
Do I think that this game is going to be good? Hell no. I think it's going to be an ugly ass game. I think it's going to be a lot of picks. It's going to be a lot of guys making a lot of mistakes. Debo, you know what I'm saying, against, man, like I said, not a good wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk, who did not practice at all, has to, take a lot of targets because, like I said, if Debo's not good against man, then you got to rely on Kittle and Ayuk. We'll see. CMC's hurt. A lot of narratives going on in this game. I'm gonna lean the Jets. I think it's gonna be a disgusting game, like literally to the point where I might turn that shit off.
Yo, I seen something. I don't know if it was like a Twitter or Instagram comment. It was like, yo, it was a tie game, 5 seconds left. Third and goal, whatever, is Debo versus Sauce. They said, what is Sauce Gardner touchdown celebration going to be? I said, I don't know. Like, that's a good question. You throw it there, it's over.
It's
like,
a wrap.
I'm running that shit.
If they put Sauce on Debo, that's fucking weird. I'm not going to lie.
GG's, like, it's over.
Should be, like I said, it should be an interesting game. Will I be watching the whole entire thing? I'm going to lean no. But that's all our week 1 picks. We're happy football's back. We're going into the halftime of that Baltimore-Kansas City game.
I'm home to a nasty.
So hopefully we can, catch the end of that game. But obviously we do appreciate you guys for joining us. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. It's just as simple as that. If you love us, then love us. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then hopefully you love us one day. Cause shit, it ain't easy out here.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. We'll maybe do week 2 predictions. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe talk about something else. It's a busy month for us, September. So we will be seeing y'all plenty of times throughout this month. So thank you guys for joining us. I'll see you on the next one.